Wow, what a spot for Cable A. 21,000.
I knew I'd be playing the biggest pot of my life. I knew I'd be playing the biggest game of my life.
Great.
But nothing prepared me for what this game turned into.
You think you're playing 5-10 today?
The best down tonight was my Jack 10
Playing
again.
5,100, bro. My goodness. What is happening? I need to keep my eyes glued to the screen because you never know when a $44,000 pot is going to break out.
Can we get straddles on, boys? All right, 2 and 4.
We've got the $400 straddle already on. 800.
Yes,
This 5, 10, 25 game is very quickly devolved into a 51. And someone said, this is what I signed up for.
Planing's working. I didn't want to do this.
Shut the f up.
I did not want to sign up for this game.
16.
Please.
Oh my goodness. Cable A. Is this the end?
Okay, one last thing. I have been on the fence debating on whether I want to throw hair thickening fibers onto my bald spot for this stream because nothing is going to be more distracting for me when that overhead shot goes down at the table and the only thing I'm going to be able to see is my bald spot, which I'm very self-conscious about, but ironically not self-conscious about enough to not mention to my YouTube subscribers that I use the hair thickening fibers. Whatever, I'm embarrassed with the problem, not about the result. Same reason I'm on Ozempic. However, I do not want to be put in a high pressure situation, start perspirating, and then look like Mayor Giuliani on the stream. That's worse. So I think I'm going to be put in high pressure situations. I think I'm going to skip the hair thickening fibers and deal with my bald spot. Starting to feel real. Starting to feel a little bit of nerves here. You know what I should do is I should call some of my closest friends and family and maybe they'll give me some words of encouragement. What's up?
Kyle, what's up, dude? How we feeling?
I'm getting nervous, but I'm psyched. I'm calling for some words of encouragement.
Dude, don't be nervous. We're supporting you back here at home. You know, you're gonna go and win the minimum. Everybody knows it. But anyway, it's gonna be fun to watch you crash and burn.
Oh, it's not what I was hoping you'd say.
You know, set your expectations, be realistic so you don't get too disappointed.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what my mom always says.
Anything that would like hype me up?
I heard that their overhead camera's not working today, so they won't get too many aerial shots.
Oh. Okay, that didn't go the way we wanted it to, so let's try another one. Hey.
What's up, Kyle? How are you?
I'm good. I'm calling for some words of encouragement for the stream.
Words of encouragement? Damn, bro. Just play your game, pick your spots. Don't let the money influence you too much. It's a lot of money, but you know, just f*** them.
Yeah.
Turn some sand into gold. Pick your spots wisely, and yeah, they all have bigger bankrolls than you, and
Okay, yeah.
they're probably better studied than you a little bit, but they have nicer watches and better hair and
Okay, kind of
better tattoos. But
going off the rails a little bit.
what's the worst that can happen, though? You can't feed your kids?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Okay. So everybody wants to mention my hair today, so maybe I will throw that shit up there. Let's try one more. From somebody that will definitely always have my back, no matter what.
Dude, you f***ing lost already, you f***ing pathetic piece of shit.
Alright. Alright, forget it.
I'm not giving you any more money.
Okay.
So we can eat dinner tonight.
And we're live.
Welcome everybody to another exciting edition.
Happy birthday, it's my birthday. It's my birthday.
Gonna get it out of the way. Happy birthday to T1000 JC. Welcome everybody.
Okay. So not only is the one player I didn't want to play against in the lineup, but it's his f***ing birthday. And I'm the only one here that's not a close friend. As soon as we all sat down and like met each other, they were asking to, one,
get the cap off so this could be a special uncapped birthday game, and B, turn the 5-10 into a 10-25-50. Well, one of those were approved. So we're now playing a 10-25-50 2K cap match the stack T1000 birthday game. And as you could have guessed, the $50 straddle is not the biggest straddle of the night. Not by far. I'm debating on faking an emergency and leaving right now. First hand, there's already a three-way all-in, and as soon as Kenny scoops it, everyone tops up for a couple $1,000s. I don't, because I only have a few bullets and I'm not going to waste them before a NIT game just in case I have to shove in a little light just to get rid of my button. Speaking of the NIT game, the first one starts 15 minutes into the session, and of course, because it's a special occasion, they decide to have a progressive NIT game. What that means is that everybody gets their NIT plaque, and when you win a hand, you show and get rid of the plaque. The last guy to have the plaque puts in $500 to the middle for a splash pot. Where the progressive comes in is that every NIT game that follows goes up $100. I look down at Queen Jack offsuit from under the gun +2, and only the $50 straddle is on right now, so from early position, I'll show some strength and bump it up to $250. And much to my surprise, everyone folds, and I get a walk off of my very first NIT game. Thank God it's early, because if it was after the 2 bottles of Casamigos, this would not have happened. Now that brings us to just a few hands later. Again, this hand would have gone very differently after the drinks were flowing. I look at my first playable hand since my Queen Jack and the $100 straddle is on. I make it $300 from the hijack with my suited King 9. I get folds around until Coos in the straddle defends with Ace 7 off. The flop comes out a monotone Ace high board. Good for my range, but not my actual holding. Coos checks and I debate a C-bet here, but then decide to see a free card. A 4 of diamond hits, and Coos checks for a second time. I feel like if he had a club here, he may take the lead, so I decide to bet out for $375. If he calls, he may have a crappy club or a pair. Honestly, if another club comes out, I hope I have enough to get him off. He does end up making the call, and another club hits. When he checks for a third time, I confidently push all in, and thank God I get a snap fold from what you can see was a much better hand. Now trust me when I say, if this had happened 2 hours from this point, Coos would have snapped me off with anything. A pair of 4s when there are 4 cards to a flush, over cards in a straight draw out there. I think this was a pretty good play by me, but also well-timed. About an hour goes by, and I have not seen a playable hand. I'm really trying to not get the word NIT tattooed on my forehead to everybody, but I got nothing to work with here.
Cable A.
Thank you.
Not me, though.
Still sitting on a starting stack, hasn't really had a hand to get involved with. He is definitely running a little on the colder side.
I was for sure on the colder side. All I wanted to do was show these guys that I wasn't a NIT and that I could be aggressive and throw money around like them, but I was either getting absolute garbage or, as you can see here, absolute premiums. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't even have to work for this one. The second NIT game is on, so everybody is shoving and calling very light. I get pocket aces at the best possible time. There's a $300 open from Kenny in the hijack, and having only $1,900 in front, I just shove. There, it looks like I may have a middling pocket pair or something, but honestly, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't look like anyone has any interest in calling me, and I may get a walk on my second NIT game in a row. But Kenny has his favorite hand, and his favorite hand sucks.
I have a really bad hand. It's my
Holy shit,
hand.
beautiful.
I learned that from you on 50.
Well, we're here to gamble, right?
I had chips left.
Kenny decides to gamble with his favorite hand, and he calls me. We agree to run it twice, and he sees the bad news.
4-3 suited and just the aces. How's it feel,
I
Ken?
need a new favorite hand.
Wait till the run out, sir, before you say that. You might just scoop him. You never know.
We do lock up the first board pretty easily and get rid of our NIT button, but then have a little sweat on the second board.
There's a 4 to get Kenny started. No hearts out there. No straight cards. We're going to need exactly a 4 or a 3. Doesn't come. How about a set for Cable A? Scoop. And number 25.
Thank you, Kenny, for your donation. I really love how your favorite hand is 4-3 of hearts. That's huge. That's great for me. Let's keep it going. I don't know if I start to think I'm a badass or something now, but this next hand, I get the money in bad. Real bad. And then 2 of the craziest runouts I've ever seen hit the board.
Oh my goodness.
No chop.
K Boulay.
I look down at King Queen of Diamonds from under the gun, and there is no straddle on this hand, surprisingly, so I open it up to $200. J-Win on the button calls, Kuz calls, and now San shoves all in. Now keep in mind, San and J-Win still have their NIT button, and Kuz is playing deep and honestly has seen almost every flop. These guys are all wide. If I call, I may have the best hand, and I could possibly go heads up against San, where he's dominated. Well, most of my thought process ends up being accurate, except I'm the one that's dominated. And it's for my entire stack. We run it twice, and I don't know what I did to deserve this first flop, but I'll take it.
3 diamonds I should have called.
And an ace on the board, but my goodness. K Boulay has flopped a straight.
Ace Jack 10 right on the front.
San is dead to a chop.
Now, honestly, I'm just happy to be here. I would be so happy with a chop right now. I got the money in bad and didn't even deserve that. But then, the second flop comes out.
Oh my goodness. K Boulay live to a queen, an ace, or a 9.
Chop.
Oh my god.
Chop. It is.
Oh my goodness.
No chop.
K Boulay.
Ace of diamonds.
The nuts 2 times.
Oh my god, look at the
2 boards.
I just jumped into a giant pile of shit and came out smelling like roses. I'm speechless. You can see it in my face. I'm in total disbelief. I just won a $7,000 pot with a dominated hand on 2 separate boards. This is the run good that I prayed for. Let's keep it going, please. Drinks are flowing, and now Kuz is feeling good. He's been giving action to all who asks for it and all who doesn't ask for it. The $800 NIT game is on, and I just want to give my plaque in. There's a $200 straddle that Liortz calls, and Kuz makes it $1,100 with honestly probably any 2 cards. Kenny calls, and now there's enough dead money out there, and I have a premium. A premium that I would honestly be happy not to see a flop with, but I shove my almost 7K stack into the middle, folds around to Kuz, who
Let's
says,
gamble. Let's gamble.
18
All in.
10.
we decide to run it twice, but honestly, if I had to see a flop with another hand, I'm glad it's this one. Or so I thought.
K Boulay in a great spot, but Kuz
No 10.
found a jack
No
to
10.
sweat for sure. Any ace, any queen, any 10 for
No
K
10.
Boulay.
No 10.
The 2 pair on the turn though gets rid of a lot of those outs, and there it is, Kuz. This guy can't lose, man.
We lose the first run out in a pretty disgusting fashion, and I don't know if I can handle losing a second run out to Jack 4 offsuit.
The second, they're running it twice.
Nah, fuck that, dude. Ace. I love Paul, but
Oh my gosh. Any jack, any 9, any 4.
4 Jack. 9-4 Jack.
All said and done, we do end up having a nice friendly chop and end up splitting $800 each, which doesn't suck.
K Boulay looked a little nervous there.
I had it on 18,000.
Do we think K Boulay knew what he was signing up for?
Absolutely not. I had no clue what I was signing up for. But you know what? I'm having a great time. We're gonna roll with the punches and see how big I can get this stack by the end of the night. But let's start with getting rid of that NIT button. Kuz is in the hijack and opens to 325 with 2 cards, and there's a bunch of calls, including myself with pocket 3s, and we see a beautiful flop with a 3 in it. Bottom set definitely does not suck. I check and it gets to Kuz, who continues for $1,100. If he has absolutely anything, I'm making the max here. I'm all in. Everybody folds, And of course, his any two cards didn't connect in the least. Decent pot though, and no more nip button.
Cabolet flopped bottom set.
What do you have?
Set.
Cabolet's kind of either just had
I
dust
have king queen.
or the
But
nuts.
they weren't diamond. If they were both diamonds, I call it.
Dust or the nuts
One
is
diamond.
what he's had today.
Nice hand.
Yeah, decent pots are great here and there, but this next pot is not decent. It's massive.
Wow,
Nice
what a
hand.
spot for Cabolet. 21,000.
The biggest pot I've ever played by far. The $50 straddle is on, and there's an open from J-Win to 150, and of course, Kuz is in there. We're in the $50 straddle and could close the action, but not with the second best hand ever created. Not with these splashy players. Now that I'm deeper, it's not an immediate all-in either. I raise to $500. J-Win calls the $500, and then Kuz does my work for me and pushes his $17,000 stack into the middle. I snap call and J-Win folds, and we decide to run it twice as we've been doing all night. But let me scoop this one. Don't let it be like the ace-queen suited hand. He shows a weak ace, but an ace nonetheless. Please, let's fade an ace on these boards.
Makes the call, or rather ships it in, and of course Cabolet made the call. Plenty of action. We're running it twice, 21,000.
That was pretty loose of you.
We lock up the first board pretty easily, but there's a little sweat to be had on the second.
That is a sweaty second board. Top set. Couple queens left in the deck, I think.
There's only 2 queens left. I'm all in.
Wow, what a spot for Cabolet. 21,000.
Oh boy.
Going his way, man.
And he misses. We just scooped a $21,000 pot. Before this, my biggest pot was probably like $1,100, if that. To be honest, I don't even remember how I felt in this moment. I was so in the zone and so in character with this high-stakes player I envisioned that I don't even think I realized what just happened.
Kenny up 31K. Cabolet's up 19,000. They're winning all the money today.
I may be flying high now, but I do make a very costly mistake in this next hand. The NIT game is on and the $200 straddle is out. I'm in the 50 and there's an all-in from Liortz in first position for $2,000. Kuz calls, Crypto Max calls, and it's on me. You can see me wanting to call. I must have not realized how deep I was at this point. I know the Kenny Rogers song says, never count your money when you're sitting at the table, but you should at least know about how much you're working with. I even say here,
I gotta be.
All right, give me a small one.
I make a nitty fold. I was best pre-flop, and you know damn well I was best post-flop. Sure, they have all the draws, but all the stacks get in post-flop and they run it twice. Had I stayed in, my stack would have been in there on a board where I have a set on both. All their draws miss, and I would have held. A 2K starting stack would have grown to approximately 50,000 here. But I can't dwell on bad moves and nitty folds. I need to focus on the now and keep growing my stack in this crazy, crazy game. I'm in over my head, but they can't know that. Moving right along, the $100 straddle is out, and J-Win opens from early position to $300. Kuz, unsurprisingly, raises to $1,100 with, again, could be any 2 cards. I'm the only one to call and see a flop with this absolute maniac. The flop comes out ace, deuce, deuce with 2 spades, and being out of position to an absolute maniac, I check. He bets $600. I honestly have no clue what he could have here. He could have ace, deuce. He could have pocket aces. He could have complete air. But $600 into this pot is a pretty decent price. I call. We don't improve on the turn, and I check out of position again, and I'm now met with a check back.
That's where I'd put it. Nine's not loving the run out.
I'll see you there.
Cabolet
Bad play.
up a good chunk today. I think he's
600.
up 5 figures. He has not reloaded, to my knowledge. He's got the best hand here, but he's got the wildest player at the table.
The guy did.
Bad run out indeed for pocket nines, but now I feel a little bit more comfortable to put out a blocker bet with my showdown value, and it ends up doing the job. We win almost $2,200 in this pot and add it to our ever-growing stack.
I don't know if there's a lot of rhyme or reason to a lot of the decisions being made today. Like GTO is one thing.
105.
Taking some kind of structured approach to the game is another.
The fact that I'm way in over my head peeks its way to the surface this hand when I look down at pocket eights from the $400 straddle. Crypto Max opens the action for $2,000, and I'm the only one to put in those two beautiful gold chips in with him. Again, these guys could have any two cards, so I have no clue what's going on or what to do. The flop comes out Queen 7-6, and Crypto continues for 1100. I decide to float with second pair. The turn comes out an offsuit 2, and he knows I'm in for 2K. I haven't played many hands. I probably don't want to lose any of this profit, even with the best hand, and he's right. He overbets the pot for 10K, and even if I know I have the best hand, I fold. I honestly don't regret this decision either. He shows 10-4 off, but say that I call, and then the river comes out at 10. That's poker, yeah, but I'm not willing to put in 10K of this profit with second pair. And evidently, he knew that and took complete advantage of it. And honestly, good for him. And that's going to bring us to the last hand of note. The dealer just got word that there are 2 more hands left of the stream, and now it's starting to feel real. These chips are making their way home with me. That is, if I don't this hand up. I'm in the $50 straddle with the scary pocket jacks. Many millions of dollars have been lost with this hand. Coos opens to $300, and I 3-bet to $1,300 and get met with a snap call. The flop comes out a pair of 9s and a 6. Coos could very well have 9-6 offsuit, but the flop checks through. When the turn comes out a 7, I feel comfortable enough to take the lead with $2,200. Coos then snap raises me to $6,000. Maybe he's trying the same shit Crypto Max was just trying and trying to take advantage of me. But he doesn't know that I have pocket jacks. This guy also could have anything. My only thought was that I hope he doesn't have anything. I hope he doesn't have a better hand, because I know nothing for sure. I call $6,000 of real American dollars, and we're off to a river. The king of clubs hits, and now I'm even more scared. I check again, and thank God Coos checks back, because I truly don't know what I would have done had he river bet. Our jacks are good, and we scoop a $14,000 pot on the last hand.
I don't think jacks are folding any street in this game.
Yeah.
Cumulative winnings. Kenny up $25,500. K Boulay up about $22,000.
There it is. $22,500 profit from a 2K buy-in. I'm not going to make this vlog and say, oh, I played the best poker of my life. To be honest, I just waited for the premiums and I got the money in good and made the max from calls from questionable hands. I was all in with pocket aces and I was called with 3-4. I was all in with pocket kings and was called with ace-4 offsuit. I was all in with ace queen of hearts and was called with jack-4 offsuit. I was making the max with my hands, which is very unlike me. Back home, I'm met with open arms from my poker buddies and family, and we celebrate my successful trip to Austin. My wife then told me she had to be the chat Gestapo during the stream because one of my haters was going crazy in the live comments. I wouldn't with her. She's crazy. I'm looking at you. Definitely get a woman that can do both. Thanks for sticking around to the end. I can't wait to use this money for a hair transplant. See you on the next one.